Hi all, welcome to this week's stream. And I have decided to take some break from solving puzzles. Maybe I will solve some puzzles in today's stream, but the main focus today is to play a few games with some bots. And let's see if we can, let's see how we perform against them. So I'm going to go for a 10-0 match against, let's start with Stockfish 5. Okay. So we're playing with white pieces. Let's go for knight f3. Okay, let's push g3 here. Okay. So now, right now, both the sides have castled, and none of the sides has made any claim to the center. Now d5 could be an option here. Now I'm still reinforcing e4 on the next move, and we get that. Okay. Let's play h3 to prevent bishop g4. Bishop g4, and then I can play queen e2 because okay, now I would love to capture with the pawn. E5 would be an option there. Yeah. And now c3 maybe. The only problem is queen d3. Okay, let's just bring my queen to e2. Now rook d1. Bringing my knight to the king side probably. Okay, now queen d7 is not a good option, I believe. So I need to develop my bishop on c1 now. Yeah. So I can go for knight c4, but then the pawn is already protected. So I'm not really adding any more pressure to it. Maybe a4 and then knight c4. Or the other option could be knight f1, knight e3, and then focusing on d5. Knight b3, they just push for c4, right? And then knight c5. Bishop goes back to c8, but then my knight is not looking good. But then yeah, I get the pawn. Okay, maybe knight b3, but then they can easily play b6 there, right? I'll go for knight e1, play bishop e3 at some point of time. g4, knight g3 could be an idea here because if I play knight e3, knight e4 is an option, but then I get knight e5 there. Knight e5, bishop e4, and they can play f5 also, right? Okay. Bishop e3, knight e4, bishop h6, bishop h6, and then I capture, but then still f5 comes with the tempo. Maybe let's go for g4 because the center is blocked, right? Bishop e3 and knight g3. Let me just change the music first. I don't like it. Yeah, let's go for bishop sorry, knight g3 here, and now bishop e3. Okay. Oh yeah, I should have seen b5 with the end of bishop c4 there. Um, Now I can play queen e1, but I personally don't like that. Because it's a little passive, but looks like I don't have other option here. Now bishop e3 maybe. At some point of time I can double up the rooks here maybe. Yeah, fine. This allows some pressure on e4, although it's well protected by the rook and the queen. So maybe let's just start doubling up my rooks maybe on the d5. Maybe play b3 first. Okay, now rook d8 is a major threat, I believe. Yeah. And now I can play rook d1 here, at least challenge that rook. So there's some pressure there, although it's well guarded, I would say. I mean, I'm not losing a pawn, to be honest, I believe. If I bring my rook here, knight e4, knight e4, bishop e4, bishop h, rook. Yeah, I'm not losing a pawn there. I can go for a discovered attack on this bishop. And now bishop f1 could be an idea here. Can I play bishop f1? Let's see. Let's see. Bishop f1. Bishop e4. Rook d8, queen d8. Knight e4, knight e4, bishop h6, and queen e4. And then even if he goes for queen d1, I have got queen e8 check. Sorry, queen e1. But that would mean I would be required to give up my queen there. What else? Queen d. What if I go for queen d2 there? But knight bishop e4 does not work because I get the rook with check. Queen d2, bishop e7 could be played, but that is losing h6 though. The rook is now defended, right? Oh, okay. I have to play a little fast there, I would say. Also, h5 takes, knight h5 is there. Hmm. Let's go for g5 there. And now can I play bishop? Can I play now queen d7 there? Bishop e7 is still there, yeah. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's centralize our queen. Hmm, hmm. Bishop f6 could be an idea there. With knight e7. h5. I have to play a little fast there. Now the idea is to capture the pawn on g5. Okay, so I do get something there. At least I'm getting a few pawns. Takes. Now the idea is to capture maybe on and at some point of time I can play c3 so that my pawns are on white squares. Yeah, so this bishop really doesn't have any influence. The knight is doing a good job. The board is open though. But this pawn can become a target of attack. How can we go about this? Okay, maybe play f4. Let's go for this way. Knight, king g4 and play f4. Oh, come on. Completely forgot about that move. I think this is going to be a draw now. Fine. Wait, what? Why is it not picking up this pawn there? Maybe now he will cap. He's still not worried about capturing the pawn on b5, and now he captures that. Okay, make sure I don't get any checks. Yeah, it's going to be a draw. Wait, what? I think I can just capture here. Okay, maybe black did not play the endgame that effectively. Okay, let's just place it. The simple objective of queening. Now keep all my pieces on light squares. I can even go for this thing. Awesome. Let's see. Where did I go wrong? Maybe let me also turn on the engine here. Okay. Is my idea incorrect here? So yeah, the game is almost equal. Black has a slight advantage. Is h3 okay? I now black is almost okay, half a pawn up. And what about if I play rook e1? Does it give me the advantage? No, it's still the game is still equal. So let's go for h3 then maybe. Yeah, so over here I think yeah, pawn captures. c3, yeah. What about queen d? So is queen d3 a real threat? I mean, obviously I can play rook e1 and bishop f1. Yeah, I don't like exchanging the queens against the computer because then my advantage is not that much. Okay, knight c4 was the idea here. Awesome. Yeah, I think this was in inaccuracy, I would say. Hmm. Yeah, so now he has 3 pawns against 5 pawns of mine. Yeah, you know what? I think I should have exchanged more pieces because now I have a clear pawn majority on both the sides of the board. But anyhow, maybe I was too happy with the fact that I have a strong knight over there. Yeah, in this position, I want to see. I think black is better here, but looks like the engine is giving an advantage of 2.3 pawns to white. Why can't king c5 be played here? Let's see. What's the issue with king c3 here? Yeah, I come back, but you get this, right? Okay, but then what is this? Yeah, this is going to be a draw. So after king c3, yeah, I'm not sure why king c3 was not played. Um, okay. Hmm. Still white is better here. Yeah, this is a better way to exchange off the pieces. Awesome. Okay, so maybe let's play one more. Uh, Game with the bot. Yeah, request. Let's go to the home page and let me create a new challenge for the computer. I think the level 5 bot is not such a strong bot in my opinion. I mean, I was having struggle with it, even if I consider it not a strong bot. But then, I mean, if you're expecting to play with the bot, you expect him to play some decent moves, right? Okay, so is h4 the idea here? Let's see. Okay. Should I play knight h4 because that would put my knight on the rim. Or knight g1 maybe? With the idea of playing knight e2. Knight e2. Hmm. Yeah, let's go for that because once I put knight on h4, I don't see it going anywhere. At least with knight g1, I can play e3, hit the pawn maybe. Wait, what is this? Yeah, he'll play e3, sorry, e6, sorry, d6 or d5. Now this is strange. Okay, yeah, the knight is protecting the pawn, so that is fine. Now f4 could be an idea. Knight f4 could be nice home because the e pawn is not there. Okay, I'm not sure if what black is doing here. He has already moved his rook so that he cannot castle on the king side. Hmm. I would love to play c4 because right now knight d5 could be an option. No, it can't be at the moment, but yeah, he can play something like c6 and then c4 maybe, yeah. Also c6 is a good move, closing this diagonal. Nice. Now c4. Because if he plays d5, I'm happy. Allowing him to play d5 because then this square is occupied by his pawn and not by his pieces, right? Okay, I can capture on b5, pawn b5 would be an idea there. Or I can also play a3, preventing b4. But he can also capture if I play a3 and then he can play d5, solidifying the pawn chain. Maybe let's just do this and now play d3. Yeah, obviously he should not capture with the c pawn, I believe. A pawn also gives him an open fight. Okay, now I can also go for queen b3 because bishop e6 is not available because of my knight. Let's see. Yeah, because this adds more protection to the d5 square. Also, I'm ready to castle. If I want to, I can castle anytime I want to. Yeah, so this knight is on a good square, to be honest. And I can't play e4 because then d4 would hang. But can I castle? He has already got an open file there. So let's see. But you know what? The problem is knight b5 does not work here because of rook coming to b8. Maybe queen c2 attacking the knight and then threatening knight b5. Yeah, this looks good. Luckily, f3 is right now covered by the bishop. But once this bishop is exchanged, oh yeah, now knight b5 is not working because takes and the d5 square is now covered. Okay. Hmm. Okay, let's just castle maybe. Also, I can play king e2. I'm not really afraid of any, but then this pawn will become a target of attack, you see. Although I can play h4. King e2 maybe? King e2 is... But then bishop a6 could be an idea there. Let's just castle. I just don't see any harm. And now rook d1 if bishop a6 because, yeah. So maybe he's targeting all his pieces against my king. Let's play rook d1 here with the idea of playing e4 because now this pawn is... Oh wow. So he's not allowing me to go for any sort of action on e4. Oh, can I? I can, but let's play b3 to prevent knight c4. Okay, let's see. e4, pawn e4, knight e4, knight e4, bishop e4, knight e4, and I lose a piece there. Okay. Also c6 is a little weak here. Maybe we can play around that. e4. Let's say pawn e4, knight b5. Knight b5 and queen c6. Check. Yeah, obviously I'm not going to exchange my queens, but let's see. Yeah, well, that just helps him develop his bishop there, right? Yeah, let's go for this. Exchange a few pawns to get some action in the center of the board, maybe. But okay, so there is some pressure here. But I can play h4. If pawn takes, knight oh yeah, that does not work. Okay. Let's play king f1 because queen h2 and there is likely no queen h1 coming into play. Mhm. Let's open up the board. Oh wow, I lost my queen there. Okay, let's call it a day maybe for this game. Let's go for one more. Okay, so the score is 1-all. Let's go for perk defense. Now queen d2. Oh wow, because if I capture, queen takes, queen rook takes, and then knight b5 is an idea. Nice. Maybe let's just bring our bishop knight back to d7. Although this is a little clumsy, I would say. But yeah, let's just throw a question to this bishop. Yeah, let's just. If bishop b5, I can just castle. Yeah, let's just attack this pawn first because it's being attacked twice. Okay. Let me castle and play e6 also. Rook, they can castle on the king side. E6 is not possible, yeah. I can castle. And now knight f4 is not possible, I believe, because of g5. But then there could be some tactics with the queen. Can I play g5 with the idea of playing g6, e6, sorry, at some point of time? But now I'm opening up my king side. But let's go for it. I mean, he's not castling, so that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, let's just go for it if he wants to. And now, can we go for e5 here? Yeah. But you know what? Knight. Once I exchange of queens. Yeah. Knight coming to d5 could be a problem. I mean, I can play e5, queen d8, rook d8, knight comes to d5. I have got knight a6, but at some point of time he can move his knight away. And then I can also move my knight. Yeah, let's go for this. Okay, now if I capture with the knight, that looks good, but knight d5. But at least then I can play rook b1. Also, let's just go for this direct exchange. If he is interested. Let's see. Because if he exchanges off pieces, that's better. Okay, I'm getting a pawn here. Just hope I don't blunder anything. Maybe I can play knight b4 there and then capture the knight. Yeah, I mean, I'm not greedy for it. And I'm also threatening knight c2. Yeah. Also, this bishop is great at some point of time. I can win a pawn there, right? Check, king b1 and the knight b4. But you know what? Let's just not increase complexity. Let's just go for a simple, decent endgame with better advantage in terms of pieces. Okay, let's wait. Can I play knight a2? Because king c2 should be played then, and then the knight is kind of not looking good here. And now knight is coming to e3. Awesome. And now I can play e4. Now this hits b2. Also f3 could be an idea, but then that just opens up yeah, let's just exchange of pieces. Okay, this is fine, I believe. Now let's develop our pieces. Okay, wow, this is good. I was expecting king d1, but yeah, that's fine. Um, okay, fine. We should have put my bishop next. Okay, let's just put our bishop here on b6. It's protected. Now my rook is also coming in on d1, or sorry, on d8. Fine. Now bishop d5 with the idea of pushing the pawns further down the board could be an option there. But you know what? Let's just prevent him. Let's keep our opponent's king in the center of the board so that it's a little difficult for him for his pieces to develop. Yeah, and let's just play a6 maybe to prevent knight bishop b5 and now rook c8. I mean, I'm winning this game easily. So the point is not to give my opponent any counterplay. Yeah, okay, bishop e2 could be a move there. Um, okay, but let's see how well can we play this. How can we increase our chances? Yeah, this bishop checks looks good. Also, I can push e3 there, but then he can go for king d3. Just go for this, and now I can bring my rook into the game, right? King e2. I've got this check there. Awesome. Yeah. Should we play a few more games? I think let's solve a few puzzles maybe. Yeah. Let's go back to what have been doing for quite a few months now. So we're playing with white pieces here. I'm in check, by the way, and this is a daily puzzle, so this should not be that difficult. Yeah. And I cannot capture the pawn on b2, so I think I have got two moves: king b1 or king d2. I think king b1 is better. It just stops the pawn and also gives my king some shelter. Okay, I have to be aware of this pawn on f3. But yeah, king b1 is what I'm thinking about. Because after something like king d2, he can also go for d5. I'm not sure. Obviously not now because there's some pressure on f6. But let's see. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Isn't bishop f6, knight f6, queen f6 better here? Bishop f6, and I'm threatening rook h8, king h7, and something on those lines. Queen g5 maybe. Bishop f6, knight f6. But then bishop f6, the problem is this rook becomes susceptible to the queen there, right? See, should I double up my rooks there? I don't see. I mean, why is it so tough? Um, Bishop f6, Queen h5, and then I don't have anything, right? Bishop d5, Bishop g5, Queen g5 is mate. Bishop d5 takes, and Bishop h6 then. Yeah, but is it this? Okay, let's go for Bishop d5. This looks crafty, but it's not the right move. Okay, let's see the solution. Yeah, doubling up my rooks. Okay. So if we are in check, we can't really do much about that. Let's see. I have got 5 options, right? I think King e5 looks the most practical because I'm hitting the pawn on f5. The king cannot defend the pawn on f5. Maybe he can push, takes. That is bad because I didn't get 2 pawns and he is left 1 pawn. So after king e5, pushing f4 is not the right move. G4 captures. He can go for h4 then. Yeah, one sec. If I play king e5, g4, because it's one of those classical endgame positions, then I think I should capture with my h pawn. H captures. Let me see. King e5, g4 takes. Yeah, g4 is the follow-up. If I capture with the f pawn, then he can follow up with h4, right? So I have to capture with the h pawn because if you then there is no way to capture the f pawn. Come on. But I don't see what's the problem with capturing with the h pawn. Nice. Now it's a draw because if I come here, he'll just come to it. Yeah, he can come also over here. Awesome. This was a basic puzzle. Should have seen this one. Okay, this is a classic one of those positions that I saw in one of the endgame books. Pawns are going this way, right? King h6, but this allows the king to be active from this side of the board. King f6, he got another check. Eventually, I have to play king g7 there, but the same could be played king h6. Yeah. Awesome. I think I'm making the right moves after losing the puzzles. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Let's just focus our whole focus on this puzzle and try to see if we can win something. I think my idea here is king a1, sorry, rook a1, check king h2, and then play something like rook f2 with the idea of playing rook a1 and then h3. That is still mate, right? Now the only question is if should I put my king on rook on f1, e1, c1 or b1. I think the point of putting it in on f1 is that I also attack the pawn there. So rook f1 obviously will not just let me checkmate his king. So maybe he'll play g4 there, and then h4, king h3, and rook comes here, king g. Okay, that's impossible. Awesome. Awesome. Nice. So for the first puzzle of our stream, let's move on to the next puzzle. So this pawn is queening down the board. Okay, let me just change the. Wait, is the stream fine? I think it should be. Let me see if I'm if I'm streaming perfectly or not. Yeah, looks like I am. Okay, anyhow. So the pawn is on d2. We're just one step away from queening. Although this rook is, my opponent's king is also a little weak. Let's see, rook f4, check. King d5, I just capture the bishop there, right? Or maybe this rook comes to f4, check. Because I want to retain my rook on the 7th rank. Because there could be some ideas of checkmating my king. So yeah, rook f4, check. King c3 is possible, but then, right? Yeah, and what about rook c7 check then? King d2, I capture there. Check. King c7 is not possible, so king, yeah, that's fine, right? I think rook f4 check is bringing my 3rd rank rook on f4 should be the move here. Well, let's see, if I bring my rook here, check. King captures on d5. If I capture on b4, can there be some tactics? Because luckily my bishop is looking at d7 and e8, so even if he plays rook e7 check, I can play king c7 there. There is no, yeah. But why should we even give that scope to our opponent's king? Can we checkmate our opponent? I don't see it happening. Let's see. I'll play this rook here. Yeah, now I can also, okay, I did not expect king c5 there, but yeah, I can still bring this rook here, right? Awesome. Let's move on to our next puzzle. Yeah, this diagonal has been weakened. Let's see. There's already some pressure on the bishop on d3. So bishop b4, bishop b2 is played. There. Also bishop coming to d4 is an option, but then bishop b2 is still happening there. Captures. Okay, let's see. I mean, these dark squares are completely weak, so I can also take advantage of that in some way, maybe. Bishop b4, bishop b2, and then what? Can I also play queen d5 sorry, queen d4, threatening queen f2. I mean, that's not happening, I believe, anytime soon, because the queen is protecting f2 there, right? Um, but you know what? I think bishop f2, or maybe let's say, bishop e3 looks good. Queen e3, queen c3 check. Does not matter how white responds. Queen d2 or bishop d2, and then we capture the rook on a1, right? Bishop e3, and he cannot defend the knight on c3. Yeah, this looks good, right? Awesome. Nice. Let's move on to our next puzzle. Okay, so there is some pressure on my king side. Let's see. Okay, you know what? Bishop d6 looks like we are trapping the opponent's queen, but he's got queen f6 there. And then there is no bishop h3, which helps me win the queen. Okay. However, after bishop d6, queen f6, I can play maybe queen c7 with the idea of playing queen c1, although bishop f1 is there. But yeah, that could be an idea. And bishop g7, I think the black queen can go to f4, g3 or f2. But yeah, I mean the queen is running low on squares, that's for sure. Okay, you know what? I think after queen d6, queen f6, can I play queen c7 with the idea of playing bishop e7? But then this knight can go jump to g6 after queen f6, right? After queen c7, as in queen d6, queen f6, queen c7, knight g6, takes, queen takes, check, maybe queen takes on e6, check. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Um. Okay, let's see. Bishop g7, maybe queen g3, and then what do I get? I don't have anything. I mean, I have the bishop pair advantage, so I have to open up the board, right? So queen, bishop d6, queen f6. Queen c7, knight g6, queen f1, bishop f1. Okay, this is interesting. Let's see. Bishop d6, queen f6, queen c7. I'm threatening bishop e7 there, right? Um, Knight g6, queen c1, bishop f1. Bishop h2, king h2, queen f1, but then queen h8 is mate. So that doesn't work. Um, Let's see, bishop d6, queen f6, queen c7, knight g6, queen c1, bishop f1, and then I have everything with me. It's just, but still I can't win. And pawn comes to g6, queen e6, and then my not only my e6 bishop is hanging, but also my d6 bishop is also hanging. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, let's see. This is interesting. I mean, I know that the dark squares are weak around my king. Luckily, I have a bishop there to defend it, but the knight is looking awkward. So is the queen. Bishop g7, it does not work, right? Bishop g7, queen f4, queen g3 is also there. Queen g3 maybe, yeah. Queen c3, knight g6, pawn g6. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Hmm. I mean, if he sacrifices on g6 without his queen being on f6, then maybe I can handle it. I'm not sure. But then queen d6 allows queen f6. Sorry, bishop d6 allows queen. Yeah. Oh wait, can I play queen d8 with the head of playing bishop d6, queen f6, and then this bishop comes to e7? Yeah. Queen d8, knight g6, bishop g7. I hit the queen, and the queen has to move. G3, I capture. Yeah, this is better, I believe. Oh, is it bishop d6? And then what? Okay, now I'm threatening bishop h2. What's the problem with queen d8? Let's see. Knight g6. I thought this should not be that tough. Okay, yeah. Then he can attack the queens. Awesome. The pawns, my bad. Anyhow, let's move on to our next puzzle. I mean, we were close to the theme of the puzzle, but still could not solve it. Anyhow, I think the first move that comes to my mind is, and that's pretty obvious, is queen h3 check. And then the king has only one option there, which is king g1. And then what? Rook f6. Knight f4 is also an option, right? Knight f4, we're threatening if knight ever moves, yeah. Queen g2. So maybe knight f4 or knight. Yeah, I think knight f4 is better. Kind of restricts my opponent's pieces, right? And it also allows me to go for something like rook f6 there. Come on. Rook f6 directly. What is it? Okay. What's the idea here? Okay. So you're back in 2300s. Anyhow, let's move on to our next puzzle. Okay, so it's an endgame puzzle. He has got 5 pawns. I've got 5 pawns. We both have a bishop there, but he has some light score weaknesses. But my king is also not safe. That safe. Um, mhm. So can I do something like bishop e2, bishop f3? Bishop f2, bishop f3. But the moment I'll play bishop f3, has got queen f1 there, isn't it? Yeah, that's the whole idea. Bishop e2, queen g4, queen f3 would be an idea too. But if that is the case, queen g4, queen f3, but that queen f3 allows him to play queen e3. Also, e3 does not work because queen e3 is there instead of pawn capturing there. So let's see. Bishop e2. The queen cannot leave the last rank, right? And then the idea is to play queen g4. But then queen e3, bishop f3, queen can go back. And queen h3 does not work because of queen f1. Queen f5. The idea of playing queen f3, but queen e3 is always there. Oh wait, I can push the pawn because queen e3 is met with queen f1, king h2. Yeah, that's not a mate, right? E3, queen e3, queen f1, king h2. Then what? Bishop coming to f5, but even if I manage to play queen h3, I thought king g2 there. Yeah. Bishop e2, queen e3, bishop f3. So bishop e2. He can remain on the last rank as something like, I don't know, queen d1. Attack my bishop, bishop f3, and then bishop queen okay, yeah, that's not working out. So I think bishop e2. And queen f1, check, king h2, and queen h2. Yeah, that should work. Awesome. Okay, let's see. Let's see. 96 check, pawn e6, queen d8 check, bishop d8, rook c8 is met with king e7. Hmm. So maybe queen b6. We attack the rook, right? And then where is the rook going? The rook is lost, right? I mean, okay, maybe the queen has to defend it, but yeah, queen b6. The rook is kind of lost, right? B queen b6, b2, maybe. But then I can play rook c2, maybe. Still, I mean, b1 is not a threat as long as my rook is on f1. My other rook is on f1. I think queen b6, but because knight e6, pawn e6, I just don't see anything else there. Queen d8, bishop d8, rook c1, king e7. Also rook d7 is there. Right. Should I exchange with my queen or my rook? That's the important question. I mean, rook c2. Um, okay. And then knight d5 is there, right? Yeah. Awesome. Let's move on to our next puzzle. So there is some weakness on these diagonals. Mhm. Bishop g2, king g2, queen g4, check. King f1 is there, or king h1. Let's say king f1, queen f3, king g. Yeah, that works because bishop g2, bishop g2, king g2, forced move, queen g4. Now if he goes to h1, queen f3, king g1, and bishop c5, we hit the rook, the queen with the rook, and also the king. Or bishop g2 check, king g2, queen g4, king f1, queen f3, king g1, and then bishop c5. The only point is bishop takes. Is there anything else that the white king can do? Bishop f2, sorry, king f2 is meant to bishop c5 there. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Let's move on to our next puzzle. So we play with white pieces here. Okay. So my opponent and I, we both are kings. They have some backpack issues there. And there is a dual attack on the pawn on d7. Let's see. Queen e7, bishop e7, rook e7, rook d7, bishop c6, rook c7 could be an idea. Let's see. Queen e7, bishop e7, rook e1. I hit the bishop, and if the bishop moves, rook e8 is coming. So yeah, queen e7, bishop e7, rook e8, rook d7, bishop c. Bishop c6. My bad. What am I doing? Queen e7, bishop e7, rook e1, rook d7, bishop c6. Rook c7 is there. Okay, the other idea could be queen e7, bishop e7, bishop c6, because now I'm threatening bishop e1. Sorry, rook e1. And then the bishop moves. I get, yeah, this looks interesting. Queen e7, bishop e7, bishop c6. Let's say king g7 for some reason. Rook e1, king f8 is there then. Let's see. Queen e7, bishop e7, bishop c6, king g8, rook e1, king f8 maybe. Rook f1 is met bishop f6. Rook e1, bishop e7 is there. Yeah, it can lead to a draw. Oh wait. Bishop e7. Sorry, queen e7. Sorry, rook e1. If rook d7 isn't happening then, because queen e7, bishop e7. I'm getting a. I would not like to go for a 3-0. Maybe I'll go for some longer rated games. Maybe can I message him? I'm getting a notification. Can I? Yeah, let's go for this. Awesome. So I'm thinking about queen e. Wait, rook coming to e1, rook d7, queen e7, rook e7. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, now this is weird. I should be able to solve this one. This looks so familiar yet so hard to solve. Okay, let's see. Queen e7. Okay. Let's see. Queen e7, bishop e7, rook e1, rook d7. Hi Ritesh, nice to have you on stream. I started a little bit early today, I guess at around 7 IST. Anyhow, nice to have you on stream. So yeah, let's see. Queen e7, bishop e7, rook e1, rook d7, bishop c6, rook c7. does not work, right? Queen e7, bishop e7, bishop c6, king g8, rook e1, king f8. Yeah. Mm, okay. Hmm. Let's see what else have we got there. Rook. I followed you on Twitch actually. I didn't see Twitch. Oh, thanks a lot, man. Okay, I mean, I started streaming on Twitch a couple of weeks ago only. I also was not that much active on Twitch, but yeah, thanks a lot. Does your engine work today? I haven't tried. I played a few games against a bot, but I did not try the engine. I guess it's working. It's working today. So yeah. Anyhow, I'm thinking about rook e1 here. Rook d7 is bad. Oh yeah, rook d7 is bad because of queen g8. I didn't see this. So rook e7. If queen takes, rook takes, and still rook d7 is not an idea because of rook check. Yeah, I think rook e7 should be the move here. Rook e1, my bad. Awesome. And now we are getting a piece here, right? And also threatening this check with threat of queening the pawn. Anyhow, let's move on to our next puzzle. We're playing with white pieces here. Okay, so we are down by a lot of pieces, but luckily our opponent's position is not that great. In fact, you know what? I can maybe checkmate him if I capture on g4, and let's say if he foolishly plays pawn a8 and queens, then f2 check. If king f1, bishop check, king comes in, and I also promote. I think capturing on g3 should be the move, but if I capture on g3, he can capture back. And then if I push for f2 check, king e1, and then I play bishop c4 check, the king moves away, and then I get a queen with check. So yeah, I think I can capture safely to play f2. Yeah, if I play f2 right now, bishop f2 and bishop pawn f2, king f2, and white is just winning here. So I think I should capture on g3. The other move is pawn g3, and he can capture back on g5. Rook g5, pawn h3, f2 check, king e2, bishop c4, and still we get a queen, right? Yeah. Awesome. Okay, yeah. So this is what I was talking about. Now I can push f2 check, king f1, bishop c4, check, king comes g2, and I promote with check, f2 check, king e2, bishop f1 check. It does not matter where white king goes, he can capture there. That's the point, right? If he captures and if I get a queen, then there are no checks available. Yeah, I can prevent this. Yeah, I think this should be enough, right? Oh, come on, is it knight? What is it then? Okay, I get this queen now. This was a simple puzzle which I butchered very badly. Now what? The puzzle is still not over or what? Okay, yeah, bishop f d5, right? Yeah. This was so easy. Yet I messed up this one. Anyhow, let's move on to our next puzzle. Okay, there's some soft spot on e5 here. Yeah, I missed that. I think that is the right puzzle, by the way, but right move. My bad. Okay, so what is black threatening? Black is simply threatening us rook e8 check, or maybe knight f2 check, but then we have got king h2 there, so there are no concrete threats, I would say. Um, let's see. Hmm. Rook c6, rook e1 check, knight e1, queen f1 is mate. Awesome. So rook c6, rook e1, knight e8, queen f1. Or in fact, rook e6, queen f1 is a mate in one. Because yeah, okay, he can intervene with the knight on g1, but then I just promote. That's me. So I cannot leave my rook from the c from the last rank. Rather, I think I can capture on b7, right? And then I can also involve my rook at some point of time. Yeah, let's start with this. Queen b6. Also, I can capture on c6. And if knight f2, king h2. And there are no checks available, right? So queen c6, I'm threatening queen c7. Checkmate. So queen c6, how can black respond to that? Knight f2, does not work, right? Yeah, let's go for queen c6 here. Awesome. Let's move on to our next puzzle. We are playing with black pieces here. Nice. So both of our rooks are hit. Also, there's some pressure on d2 here. I think I can play rook g6 here. Even if he plays knight rook d2 check, I can play something like king c6 because now his bishop is hit, right? And the c7 pawn is also hit. So if he plays something like f3, I can still play knight c2, hit the rook, and then capture the knight, and then the rook is also hit. Maybe, yeah, obviously, he can play rook d1 then, but yeah, okay, let's see. Let's see. Rook g6, rook d2, check, king c6, f3, knight c2, rook d1, and then if I capture on g4, he can play rook. Yeah, he cannot play rook d6 because my rook is still on g6. But I capture on g4, pawn g4, and then what do I get? I don't get anything there. Hmm. Knight d2, bishop e6. Hmm. I don't see the point, right? Hmm. f5, bishop f5 is there. Hmm. So you are saying rook g6, rook d2, king c6, f3, knight c2? Exactly, yeah. Right. Rook g6, rook d2, king c6, f3, knight f2, rook d1. I can capture on g4, pawn g4, but I have to be aware of rook d6, and that would be a mate, right? So yeah, that's something I need to be aware of. Also, with rook d2, he gets some activity. So I'm not sure entirely if that line works. Also, I'm not getting anything out of there, right? Hmm. Let's see. No, no, no. King d7 is not possible. So here's the thing. Rook g6, king d2. Sorry, king rook d7 check. King c6, f3, knight c2. This rook comes to d1, protecting the rook on d7. If I now capture on g4, pawn g4, and then my king cannot capture on d7 because there's already a rook. The other rook is on d1, and I cannot capture the g4 pawn because of the other rook coming to d6, and that would be a mate. Yeah. Oh wow, this is simple. How this is so simple. Rook g6. Oh no, you're not getting it. Rook g6. I got the solution by the way. I think I got it, but let me just help you revisualize the scenario. Rook g6, rook d7, check. King c6, f3, knight d. Oh yeah, that's. I think yeah, that's correct. Knight d1 is there, but I think the correct solution is rook g6, knight rook d7, king c6. If f3, I can capture on g4. Captures and then I capture. But then yeah, okay, that's working. I think, yeah, this is working. Oh, is it not? What's the problem? Let's see. What's the solution? Okay, yeah, with rook g6, he can go for this. Bishop f5. Awesome. This is. Thanks for helping me out, by the way. I completely botched that one as well. Anyhow, let's go for the next puzzle. Okay, the first move is pretty obvious. Queen d7 check. King f6. Okay. Queen d7 check. King f6. And then this e5 push check. The moment the king comes on g5, we capture. Yeah, I think this should work. If the knight intervenes, I've got some bishop checks there, in making him like king to the g file. Awesome. Now bishop check or queen check. That is what I'm thinking about. Because yeah, queen check is the simplest one. This is not the right move. Oh yeah, this is not the right move because pawn h3, the king moves, knight f3 is also there. I think this should be the move. And now I can just capture, take, and now I can capture this. Okay. Wait, I mean, yeah, as in we were close, but still close but no cigar. Anyhow, let's move on to our next puzzle. I mean, I have been in such situations that I know the concept, but I still just blunder with the puzzle. So, anyhow, hmm. So this is okay. My king has a back rank issue. I need to be aware of that. Maybe. Mhm. Let's see. What do we have here? And b3. So what was the last move, by the way? Rook a2. I see. So b3 could be an idea at some point of time, but let's see. Rook a2, knight a2. What do we get? Rook a7, b3, b6, b7, b2. My bad. Yeah, that is interesting. Rook a2, knight a2, rook a7, b3, c6, b2, rook b2, and they promote, and that's checkmate for white. Yeah. Okay. Rook c3, pawn c3 is not working out again because of rook a1. Checkmate. Hmm. Let's see. Rook a2, rook a2, rook a2, knight a2, rook a7, b3. Okay. Hmm. I just don't see it. I mean, I'm not sure how to go about this one. I don't see the concept basically because black is just threatening b3, b2. Yeah. Rook c3, rook a1. It's all over. So I cannot leave the last rank. Rook a2. Let me just reduce the volume a little bit. Rook a2, knight a2, c6, b3, and then bishop comes to a3. That's my idea. Because then we are threatening check, takes, take c7 and push. c6. Awesome. Let's move on to our next puzzle. Let's see. We're playing with black pieces here. Nice. So we've got some good pawn chain there, but then he has got a piece and has got what, like one extra piece, and I've got three and one extra pawn. I mean, I can win the bishop with a2, but let's see. a2, bishop a2, rook a2. And then can I? b3 is not happening because of rook b3. Okay, I get the pawn on f2, but it's not. I mean, I'm not sure if that's the right way to go about this. Basically, b3, bishop b3, rook b3, rook b3, a2, and rook a3 is there, which defends the pawn. Okay. And I cannot exchange my rooks and leave this bishop because these pawns are too much for the queen side. Now there's this one line which I think works, I believe. b3, rook b3, a2. Rook b2 and F2 mode, but that also doesn't work. b3, rook b3, a2, and rook a3. Yeah. What about queen c2? Sorry, rook c2. Um, bishop b3 maybe, stopping everything. Rook c3, pawn c3, and then this bishop on b3 controls both the squares. So that's not happening. Let's see. Pawn push captures. Rook captures. Rook b3, rook f2, rook b3. I think a2 is the most logical move. Bishop a2, rook a2, rook b3, rook f2, rook b4. Maybe rook d2, but then rook b5. That still will not be, I guess, in favor for black because he has got still two pawns on the queen side. A2, bishop a2, rook a2, queen b, rook b3, rook a4, and then my rook is passive, and I just don't see anything. Yeah, I think what can I do here? A2, bishop a2, rook a2, rook b3, rook a4, but then rook is passive then, right? And this rook is doing a good job. Hi Arya, nice to have you on stream. Let's see, pawn push. Does not work there. No man, I don't. I mean, Ritikesh is in the chat. He would know how well I play with the puzzles. But anyhow, thanks for the compliment. Yeah, thanks. Why don't you then tweet about me or maybe share my channel on one of your social media channels? That would be great for me. But yeah, thanks for the compliment once again. Rook c2, bishop b3. I don't know how to solve this one. Hmm. Rook f2 does not work. Rook f2, and then I don't have anything, right? I think a2 is what I should be playing. I don't have any other move apart from a2. Or do I? I don't see it. Let's see. What's the solution then? What about this? Okay. Oh wow, this is so simple. Now I'll just push one of the pawns. If he takes, then this is queening. This is so frustrating. Yeah. I've had seen up till bishop b3, but I just did not see that I can push one of the pawns. Anyhow, uh, let's move on to our next puzzle for the day. So my queen is hit on d5. But can't we with the bishop on b2? I mean on b7? What is this? Knight c6, right? Oh wow, if I capture on b7, rook b8, but then I've got ample of opportunities to come back with something like rook a8 maybe. Yep, you were. No doubt about that. Queen b7, rook. queen b7, rook c7, and my queen is kind of trapped because queen b6. Yeah, I have got queen b6 there, but then rook c3. Does it work? I think queen b7, and I have got ample of opportunities to escape. Or have I? Yeah, now I can display queen b6. Oh, my bad, man, my bad. I think the only person improving from these chess puzzles are you. Queen b6 works here, right? Because every other square is taken. Let's see. Can't I just capture on c2 here? Because if rook c1, I can still capture. Oh yeah, but then you can capture with check. Nice. But then we can. So there's some pressure, but I can just play queen e3. Because if I capture on c2, rook c1, queen d8, rook d1 check, king f2, and then he captures, and then he has got two rooks. Yeah. Um, Queen e3, but then these two pawns could be a little dangerous. So what if I capture on a6 there? Let him capture on c3 with his knight. Or queen e3 works. I'm not sure. Queen e3. But but my rook is also hit, right? That's a problem. Mm-hmm. See? I think I can play knight d5 here. If rook c1, rook c1, knight c1, queen takes, rook takes, but then these two pawns are a little dangerous. So I think knight b5 looks good here. Knight, rook c1. But then I just lose, right? Because my queen and rook both are hit. So knight d5, rook c1. I mean, queen e3 looks safe, but then I'm just afraid of these two pawns on the queen side because they have a queen side majority, right? Knight d5. Let's see, knight d5, rook c1, rook c1, knight c1, queen takes, but then even then I can't do much about this. And also queen e3, my rook on c1 is hit. You see? So queen e3, knight c1, rook c1, and then b3. Okay, I protect my rook, but knight d5 maybe. But then it would be an equal trade for a bishop and a knight against a rook, right? Uh, Queen e3. Let's go for that. That was not the right move. Knight d5. Knight d5. What is it? Let's see the solution. Oh wow, we can counter attack the queen. Nice. Anyhow, let's call it a day. It's been pretty eventful, and I guess uh, the stream was full of ups and downs. Eventually, we ended up where we started with, or maybe down. I mean,